Hello there. And I love movie rejects as much as I love refrigerators. And I know there are people that are new to the franchise and probably don't know what I'm talking about, so let me briefly summarize it for you. On the first three movie lines at least, I don't know if Age of Extinction or The Last Night had those, but the first three movie lines had a ton of characters that weren't in the movie to fill in the product lines. Because those things were selling like hotcakes. So they needed something else other than 5 hero robots and 5 villains to fill in the gaps. And I'm gonna talk about one of those today. Meet Allspark Power Salvage. Salvage, I don't know how to speak his name. He's a repaint of Dropkick, not the newer one, the Bumblebee movie one, but the older 2007 one that was released on part of the main line a few years prior. And this is basically an Autobot version. And let's talk about him real quick. First thing is that I love how this guy makes use of clear plastic. Because today we are kind of used to entire blocks of the figure being clear plastic just to get those little windows actually popped. Like, why do you need clear plastic windows when it will show basically nothing? But the way this guy uses the clear windows is actually really nice. Let me show you. If you can see, the entire door assembly here is matte plastic, not matte plastic, but opaque plastic. And just the window part is actually clear. And it's the same for the headlights here on the front. And these rear lights, which I don't know if these were painted red when it released, but mine I bought used, so I don't know. But one thing that may disappoint some people is that there's a bit of parts forming here. Basically, a bit of the trunk here gets removed. And it becomes a quote-unquote weapon, which is basically a pair of nippers. Well, maybe he's into gunpla, I don't know. But one thing that I can say is that even if you remove it, it's still complete. Like, there's detail here. It's basically an empty truck, or I like to call him a mini Ironhide, because that's basically what this is, right? This is a miniature version of Ironhide's vehicle. Or if you want to get really obscure, Alternator's Optimus Prime, but small. But now let's talk size comparisons. Here he is next to Barricade from the first movie. Well, mine is a bit rough because this is my childhood copy, but still nice. As you can see, I don't know if you can really see it, but he is a bit taller than Barricade, but Barricade is a little bit longer. But this guy has a little more mass than that Barricade. But now let's talk about transformation, which on this guy I think it's really nice. The first thing you want to do is bring down the legs here. You'll separate them. This part will come forward, down on a ratchet. I think this is a fake ratchet, not a spring one, because I can literally see the teeth. And then the foot will go forward. This little thingy here will go back. And you bring the heel spur out. Same thing on the other side, and now you get a gear walk. But now you will come back here. You need to unlatch this and bring these two thingies here to the side. And then this will go up, and all of this will collapse here in the back. These two thingies here will come back like this, out and up. And you got the back all done. Now let's go here on the front. You need to separate all of this, and all this mass here will become the arms. So what you want to do is bring this up. That gives you clearance to separate here the arm. This will come up, and these two thingies here will go down. And all this will collapse here on the back and tab into the torso. Same thing on the other side. And now you bring his boobies down. And then you bring this thing here back, and that should spring the head up, but mine gets stuck, so you just give it a little push. And these two thingies here will need to go back. And here it is in his robot mode, and he's definitely a clunker. And I love it. It's basically a battle-ready Autobot with built-in cannons here on the arms, and I can't say a powerful physique because he looks really thin in some areas. But at least he looks nice. And of course, it's a used copy, so there are some scratches. But as for aesthetics, the head, I think it's nice. It's a really good shape. It's like, it was supposed to be a drone from the first video game, so it gets that job really well. It also has some light piping and a ball joint that can go all the way around. It can go up, it can't go up actually. It can't really move down because it will just see his boobies. And a little bit of side to side. And this is a little bit annoying, but yeah, I can deal with it. The torso here, I think it's really nicely sculpted. The boobies get in the way, of course, but if you move them out of the way real quickly, you'll see that there's a ton of sculpt work here. And it really shows some nice detail. Like, I think these are supposed to be the grill from the car mode. But the grill's here on the side, so kind of pointless. There are some pistons, and all these details of Allspark blue. And the only articulation it has is a little bit of an amp crunch and an arc back because of the transformation here. It's got no weight swivel, but it's a toy from 2007, so I don't know what you expected. The arms I don't really like, to be honest. It's got some really good sculpting here, but most of it is just this shield here on the side, I think. At least he's got a hell of an elbow joint, like 180 degrees. Nice. Even if it's for the transformation. And I don't know if this will bother some people, but the elbows are on a bit of an angle when fully extended. So, also, I think it's fine. But I don't know if some people are bothered by this. But I don't think many humans actually have their arms straight the whole time. Like, it needs a little bit of bend, you know? As for the rest of articulation, it has a ball joint on the top, so it can go whenever you want, except back. And that's it. There's no sort of swivel in his arm or his legs. And for me, that's okay. Like, it wasn't really the norm to have bicep swivels, thigh swivels, wrist swivels. You know, it's a different time. They had other priorities at the time. And as for the legs, they are chicken legs, but they do a really good job at getting him upright. He won't really have any problems falling due to these monstrous feet. But as for articulation, can go forward that far, back that far, outward almost a full split. It's on a ball joint, but the ball joint gets a little bit of a waist. What waist? A thigh swivel, but it's not really that much. And if you want to, you can use the transformation joint to get him an ankle pivot. But I don't really recommend because it looks a bit fugly. And also, if you want, you can use the chicken legs to give him a little bit more of a height. He will still stand up, and he looks a bit weird, but if you want a taller one, here you go. As for that quote-unquote weapon, it has these tabs here that can go into his hands like this. It's a little heavy and it tends to unpeg some stuff. But if you want him to look ridiculous, here we go. I think it would be better if it could plug like into the bottom of the arm. Like I think that could work better for this guy instead of being directly here on the hand. I don't know, just giving out ideas. And this guy is really squat. Like, he isn't that much in terms of tall. And for some size comparisons, here he is next to Barricade. As you can see, they are about the same size. And especially due to the... Let me raise the camera. Especially due to those little protrusions that they got. Barricade specifically gains a ton of height because of these. But as you can see, they are part of the same line, so they have similar aesthetics. And I would recommend you buy this guy if you can find him at a good price. Like, loose like this, out of the box, I think a little bit over retail, like 15, 17 bucks maximum. And sealed, I don't know, sealed figures are weird. But that's it. That's the video. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.